If you run a small cleaning or restoration company, you may have noticed some of your larger competitors seem to have an advantage when it comes to social media marketing. Is it because they have more money, a more talented staff, more talented than you? Is there something you can do to effectively leverage social media and make it work? There is a way, and we're going to turn to our expert today on this, John Clendenning, a regular guest on my program. And John is the founder and CEO of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters. John, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Jeff.
Want to get right into it?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So let's get started. Tell us how small businesses can leverage social media to work for them.
Yeah. So ultimately, just on a 30,000 foot view, it's understanding your audience, like who is your target customer, knowing that customer avatar, just like we talk about with all marketing, because once you know who they are, where do they hang out online? You want to make sure that you're consistent with social media and authentic. So it's really taking that target audience, where do they hang out? Can you get in front of them and be consistent and authentic and don't kind of play with the gimmicks and the games?
Now, there's a lot of options, John. There's what? Facebook, Twitter, or X,
Yeah.
LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. What do you do with that? How do you choose?
So yeah, pick your poison. How involved do you want to be? How much time do you want to put at it? Do you have somebody on your team, like somebody in the office that can handle that as well? But ultimately, again, if we go back to those first audience, Facebook is Facebook's demographic is ideally suited to the home service business, right? So a lot of your ideal customers, that 35 to 55-year-old, woman of the home is ideally the purchaser of home cleaning services specifically and things like that. But in that range of, discretionary income at that peak of life, once you get 55, 60, 65, they're on there as well, but the younger crowd isn't quite as active on Facebook, so which is fine for us home service providers, because that's our ideal audience. Instagram, on the other hand, has become where your photo gallery is. So it used to be put a photo gallery on your website, show it, no. Put it on Instagram. Just Instagram's great for photos. Put your before and afters, put your team photos, all of that kind of stuff. LinkedIn definitely is for B2B connection. So you want to connect with the, again, local business of your city, groups and people and the real estate agents and the interior designers and the whatever. You can make all your business to business connections on there. So you can choose. You can say start with Facebook. That's a good start. Put pictures on Instagram and then if you're doing B2B stuff, plan to maybe add that to your world down the road. Niche stuff like again, TikTok. Some people can go, like, if you're really interested and want to do it. Face or YouTube is another one. You want to do a lot of videos, sure. Even things like Nextdoor can be considered sort of a social platform. You can actually go on and share stuff, but really think of that as a future strategy once you've got the basics in place.
Great info. You're making it sound like work, but I know it can be fun as well.
Yeah.
You talked about pictures like on Instagram, but what about other content? What can business owners post that they can actually do?
Yeah, so you want to think a little bit of the content mix. Most people, if you go and look at a bad Facebook page or Instagram channel, what you'll see is a post now. Maybe the last one was July 4th of July, and prior to that, you did something around Christmas or New Year's, and almost all of them have to do with a deal or a promotion, right? Wrong strategy. You want to be consistent. A daily, once every day, once every 2 days kind of post is posting calendar makes sense. So then what can you mix in that? Because you want to create a mix. Some of it's activity based, right? So you can use AI and you can use tools to help you create memes and stuff like that. Like, we always say, in the rest of the world, don't be posting, crazy cat memes and stuff like that. In our world, in cleaning and restoration and home services and stuff like that, animals are fair game. So, you can have little funny jokes and things like that in the mix of before and after pictures of your clients, in the mix of just stuff happening around the office, highlight one of your team members and just share them in the morning, things like that, loading their van, like just a bit of in your world, a bit of what you do, a bit of how to advice and helpful stuff, and some before and afters and client stories. That mix is really great. So even reviews brought over from Google and Yelp and just sharing those on, as pictures and text and stuff like that, all of it just helps make when somebody lands on your page and they scroll, it generates a feeling of, wow, these guys are engaged, they're active, and they understand their marketplace and their niche. So you're just sharing a mix of everything and just kind of create a calendar around it so you don't have to overthink it. Just plan a little bit in advance.
Pressure's on, John. We have about 30 seconds.
Okay.
How do you define success for this?
So the really basics are you getting messages and DMs? Because ultimately, you want people to be in there doing something. You can get into the analytics and check engagement, and then once you get some engaging posts, you can say, okay, let's do a few more of those and play that sort of engagement influencer game. But I just say, as long as you're getting likes and and DMs and messages from inside those platforms, it's because your content captured their interest.